Question 617. Have you ever watched another couple getting it on without them knowing?
No. That's rude.
No.
Not without them
Unless
knowing.
porn counts, but
Both of you at the same time.
But they've got a but I'm going to say if they filmed it and put it out as porn, they've got a reasonable expectation of people watching it.
Yeah, but they don't know that you're watching it.
No, but that's a different kettle of fish, though, because
they have expectations that people are going to be watching.
Why is your kettle full of fish?
What?
It's just an expression, Jen.
Wait, what did I miss then?
I could have said a horse of a different color.
Jen, it's because all the pots are dirty and I don't want to do the dishes.
Good answer.
He's having beavers over. Right. No, porn does not count.
Then no.
Have none of you ever been to a beach?
No.
In the summer?
No. I just... Yeah, but why would I...
Going on in front of me, I'd avert my fucking eyes anyway.
Yes, but my point being, you would have seen it.
Okay, you know what?
Doing the dirty, not just kissing.
Actually, Dave, yes. Yes, I can say yes. It was for a second, and I never entered my parents' bedroom again without knocking and waiting for a verbal, come on in.
Oh, honey.
Wait there.
It was weird. It was weird.
Sorry.
Did they know?
Fine.
Did they know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I ran out of there really fast. I don't know. They may or may not have noticed. Their eyes were closed, so I don't know.
The scream going down the hall gave it away.
If you're including other people kissing, well,
no, we're not kissing.
I've been on buses and trains where people are making out.
No, not kissing.
Yeah, but they know people
okay,
are watching.
so they're not.
Manja has a question that she needs you to clarify in the chat.
Do threesomes count if you're involved? No.
Because they know you're there.
They know you're there.
People don't realise you're involved in the threesome.
If you're in a threesome and they don't know you're there, you're doing
You better
something very
make sure
wrong.
they get off those drugs. Oh, I'm sorry, Julie. What?
I would accept. Okay.
I just said if you're in a threesome and the other two people don't know you're there, you're doing something very wrong.
I would accept.
Yes.
That there are situations in which I would accept that one of the other people involved knew and one didn't.
Yes. Like if you were a couple and one of them was a voyeur and the other one brought somebody home and the other person sat in the cupboard and watched it.
That would meet the criteria here.
That's technically a threesome, weird threesome, and one wouldn't know.
Okay, no, it would meet the criteria. I agree. I'm just, oh gosh, ew. I feel bad for the person who doesn't know because it's like that's.
But it's them knowing, not just one of them knowing. So you're expecting both of them to not know. So I don't see how that works anyway.
I'd cut a bitch if somebody like peeping tomed me during my private time.
With that person, they can just fuck off with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or kill them. Yeah. Whatever. No,
I wouldn't
kill them.
kill them, but I'd be
honest.
very angry.
Maybe kill them.
Let's be honest. Once you get to that point in your life where your body's not perfect, nobody wants to see that shit. And we don't want
to see that. I don't want to see me doing that. I still want to do that, but I don't want to see me doing it.
In the air anyways, yeah, no.
This is why we have light switches.
I think your images of yourselves are warped.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
All day, Chad. That's why we have light switches.
There's a reason that most of my love affairs are virtual.
Sammy says, if it's remotely, does it still count? It would count if it was remote if they didn't know. If you go and put a camera up in your parents' bedroom and you were watching it, you are very, very weird. Right, but yes, it would count.
What about Dave? What about the drone? Is that weird?
Is it weird? No, not necessarily, but it would count.
Yeah, is it weird?
The problem with...
Is it weird if you're flying your drone around and you just happen to accidentally fly past someone's window and you're like, fuck?
No, that's fine. It's the going back. It's the going back and holding it up against the window that's the problem.
Is it weird if you stay there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Now,
we'll be your moral compass, Badger. We can do this.
Right.
It'll be okay.
As for my actual...
Going back to what Sammy said, I'm a little bit worried that Sammy's paid to have cameras put in all our rooms for his and Nerdy's novel.
A guy just went down for that here in the States. He worked for a very popular security company, and he had feeds going into his home computer of people's like bedrooms and bathrooms and things, and was watching.
This is Australia. They're all perverts.
That's fair. I can't argue with that at all.
I would just say they're not as puritanical as we are, which is cool.
We're gonna go to the chat. Doc says, I work in a hotel, so I haven't watched, but I've heard plenty.
I love you, Sammy.
The only person that can definitely say yes to this question is Jeebus. Right, there are two problems with that answer. There are lots of people that can definitely say yes to this question, and Jeebus isn't one of them.
I don't know, we'd have to... well, Jesus might be able to say yes to it.
Yes?
Okay. So, my actual answer to this question is... I may have while on beaches or stuff like that, but I either didn't notice or just kind of went, oh, they're busy. And then just, it was not significant enough for me to remember it.
That's good.
Because my view of things that I consider to be private is if I find myself in a position where I am party to someone else's private information, because my sort of morality is based on I want to do stuff that, you know, the old treat people as you want to be treated thing, even though that is flawed in some ways. My morality is kind of based on that. If I find myself party to someone else's private information, I tend to just automatically forget it.
Why'd you forget it? That seems odd.
That's very cool.
I mean, for now I forget everything, so it's mostly. I would say I mostly agree because I forget it completely. But the stuff I can remember about walking in on people at parties at university. Like I said, I grew up around the beach. It was not an uncommon sight.
Oh, my roommate in college and I had a system. We had a magnet because the doorways of the dorms were metal. So if the magnet was on the outside of the door, you went elsewhere.
The thing is,
see, that seems far too organised.
See, the thing with me is I forget it because it's not that significant to me. It doesn't gain me anything knowing it. It's somebody else's. It's something that is private for someone else, and I don't. You know, there's no reason for me to want to remember it. To be honest, I just kind of.
No, I would agree with that completely. I suppose at the point at which I have memories of these things, they're just things that I couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't have chosen to forget them.
I don't choose to forget them. I don't.
What were you talking about?
I don't choose to forget them.
Randomly walking in on people.
I don't put any effort into not forgetting them, and then most of the things that I don't specifically try to remember just go whip.
Yeah, that must be awesome. Teach me your superpower.
You have to have a stupid brain.
Stupid brain.
Okay.
I've had a weird reverse of this question happen, where I was at a party and there was a group of us sleeping in a room, and I became an unknowing voyeur of two people having sex because I didn't realize they were having sex until after it had sort of happened. But they knew I was there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've done that.
I've had that same situation happen where there's a bunch of people sleeping in one big ass room and somebody's screwing underneath the sleeping bag. But I'd say, Dave,
and I didn't realize until afterwards that they'd done it, but they knew people were there.
Easy.
Yeah. My closest thing I could say to that is being a truck driver, and you see like somebody swerving and they're driving slow, and you go to pass them, and some woman's giving somebody,
on the bonnet of a car on a major freeway.
The unwritten law of the road.
I've seen that like parking lots and on the highway, but they know people are there because they're on the highway and in a parking lot in public with their windows not covered. So that's the closest I can get.
You don't worry about the windows when you're on the bonnet of the car.
Well, there might be somebody in the car.
That too.
Was there anyone in the car, Jim?
Got honked by a couple of truck drivers as they went past there.
I screwed my ex in the parking lot of a truck stop in her car, and everybody thought I was a guy because that's my life. And so that like the women were turning their heads, and the guys walking by were like, you know, like
You're a bizarre
good job,
species.
man. I was like, yeah, I'm in this religious area. If they knew that I was a freaking, if it was 2 females, we probably would have got like burned, you know, like Molotov in the window or something.
Oh dear.
Pretty funny.
Androgyny can work for you in certain places.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
By the way, just Jeff's internet connection is completely screwed, so
Oh,
he may or may
no.
not make it back.
Okay.
Do we have any other?
Jeff's not making it back.
I was going to
He
make
may
a
or may
terrible
not.
joke then.
Oh, he may or may not.
Oh, screw it, I'm going to make the terrible joke anyway. The problem is he needs a new router, but he's at home and can't deliver it to himself.
They don't use the post
I
office.
hate that you guys call them routers. It's a router.
No,
it's
not.
a router.
It's a woodwork. A
It's a
router is a
router.
wood-
Spelled
Router.
No,
router.
router. Like Badger said, a router is for doing wood.
How is it that Australians and Americans say router and Brits say router? That's so weird.
Not all Brits
It's
do,
not
but
weird.
Some of
You're
them.
wrong.
Because Australians are
You're wrong.
silly.
No, and right. The only
You're
reason.
wrong.
You say
Because
rooter,
it was in-
everybody thinks the. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
The only
I
reason
know where you're
anyone
going, B.
in the UK calls a router a router is because they've misheard. They've heard it from someone else that's not in the UK.
Yeah, well, you guys didn't
Damn
invent them,
Americans.
so screw you. It's a router.
Yeah, the woodwork tool is.
I've used a router for routing and
They
woodwork.
both have a U in them,
Well, they both spelt the same.
hence they should be pronounced the same.
Well, I mean, but there are
Here they are.
It's
not every. No, I'm sorry. I started thinking of homonyms, and then I was like, yeah, but not every word that's spelled similarly that has the different spelling rather and different meanings, but those sound the same. Never mind. I'm stuck on homonyms now, which is the opposite of what you were talking about. So let's move it along.
Sorry, I did hear something before I come back in, and I'm going to back Dave up on this. Yes, a router is something we use as a tool for you on wood. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually learned like boat building. I know this stuff.
Yes, a router is for doing
a router is somebody who has sex with other people.
A router is the thing that you use for rerouting all the internet traffic down different routes.
I was a bit.
Down
Yeah,
route.
I thought I'd have to like
Routes.
No.
I thought
Yes,
I'd have to like use some of my phone up if then, but thankfully my internet came back. So
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
good. As in, I'm going somewhere I don't know, so I've programmed the route into
The
my
route.
phone.
No, you follow a route.
No, I follow a route.
We've got you strange route people outnumbered.
Yeah, you do, but
You
no,
route
wait, no, you
someone.
don't.
There are routes
It's
in
even.
war. In a battle,
No,
you can
Dave
have a
has-
route.
No, Dave's dog's there as well.
Oh well, fine. Just throw the fact that you can have pets in my face.
And the dog is ill, so
It's a router.
you should all be sympathetic.
Spelled the
Right.
exact.
Next question.
Same
We'll have a
way.
row about this later.
Great question about this now.
I can't believe this was our
It's
most
almost like we got
contentious one.
distracted and went on down a different route.
Yes,
Root.
exactly, Beth.
Right, 618.
See, in the U.S., people that say root for route are the ones that are like the backwoods redneck, have no teeth incest.
Yeah, it's
Square
like,
and
it's
cheese.
like,
This
oh,
from the
Route
country that
911.
brought us Route
Oh,
66.
that way. Well,
I thought
Route.
root sounded more Canadian like that. Root.
Yeah, I can see.
Right,
No.
shush.
We're going to your boot route.
no, yeah, let's move on. I started wondering if this was a regional thing.
About the
Yeah,
route.
no.
Shh, shh, shh. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.